What are those fears? I think oftentimes one of the fears for most people is that I'm not good enough. They have this deep, deep fear of I'm not good enough. What if I'm not good enough? What if I do everything that you're talking about, Joshua? What if I become super intentional about what I read, what I watch, what I listen to, who I surround myself with, my circle, what I visualize? What if I'm super deliberate and intentional about how I use my 86,400 seconds? And what if I do all this stuff and I still don't play? How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is it to give my everything and then have somebody tell me that my everything isn't good enough? And for a lot of people, they're like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. I can't bear that. I can't bear the thought of being embarrassed like that. So I'm never going to give my best. That way, I always have that as an out. Well, I didn't really try. I could have, but yeah, whatever. I think that what we really have to do is we have to surrender. I think we have to surrender to the possibility of failure. And it's not failure forever, but it's temporary failure. We have to surrender to the fact that we might fail, that I could give my everything and my everything still not be good enough to compete at this level, or to get that job, or to do whatever it is that I want to do, to get an A in the class, to build my company. I have to surrender the outcome because I don't know. It's the guy that's willing to die who's going to win that inch. I don't think that we need to be willing to die, but if you look at Navy SEALs, what Navy SEALs will tell you is it's the guy who's willing to die who has a higher chance of surviving battle. It's the guy who's surrendered that he might die, who doesn't freeze, who trusts his training and acts. It's the guy who's worried about dying. It's the guy who hasn't come to grips with the fact that he might die, that he's the one who has a higher likelihood of dying. The guy that you want beside you in battle is the guy who is surrendered to the fact that he has a high likelihood of not making it out alive. And when you can surrender that, when you can surrender the outcome, then all of a sudden you're actually freed up to be at your best and to be in the moment and to act and to trust your training. But until you surrender the outcome, truthfully, you're just going to get in the way of it, and you're probably going to cause yourself to fail, to die, because you haven't surrendered. And so what I implore you with is, I know that in the world that we live in the Instagram, in the fail world, in the viral memes and videos and fail everything, that we don't want to end up on not top 10. We don't want to end up on a fail video. We've been conditioned to believe that those people are failures and losers and we don't want to be them. But until we surrender to the fact that we might fail and choose to act in spite of that and choose to give our everything in spite of that, we will never, ever come close to reaching our potential. Ever.